Hello, welcome to 10 Minutes with Malachi. I'm Buddy Pennington, pastor of Westville Assembly of God in Northern Holmes County, Florida. I'll be your host for the 10 Minutes with series. We're going to begin the first chapter of Malachi, verses 2 through 5, with our lesson tonight. Allow me to read that for you. Malachi chapter 1, verses 2 to 5. I've always loved you, says the Lord. But you retort, really? How have you loved us? And the Lord replies, this is how I showed my love for you. I loved your ancestor Jacob, but I rejected his brother Esau and devastated his hill country. I turned Esau's inheritance into a desert for jackals. Esau's descendants in Edom may say, we have been shattered, but we will rebuild the ruins. But the Lord of Heaven's armies replies, they may try to rebuild, but I will demolish them again. Their country will be known as the land of wickedness, and their people will be called the people with whom the Lord is forever angry. When you see the destruction for yourselves, you will say, truly the Lord's greatness reaches far beyond Israel's borders. Now, the book of Malachi utilizes an interesting literary tool in order to be able to present the statements that Malachi is making to Israel. In most of the first 3 chapters, God makes a statement to Israel. Israel responds with a question, and then God answers by making further statements that relate what he has said to Israel and demonstrates to them how the statement applies to the nation. Now, this tool becomes evident here in verses 2 to 5 in this first chapter. God tells the people that he has always loved them. And then Israel responds with, really? How have you loved us? Now, allow me to make an observation here, if you will. The people do not take God at his word when he tells them that he loves them. They essentially are saying to God, prove what you just said because we don't believe you. Now, their questioning reveals a lack of faith in God and in their relationship to God. They have apparently forgotten how he brought them out of exile and back into their homeland, and how he has provided for them in the process of doing that. Now, what a sad set of circumstances when the people that are called by God as his special nation question his integrity. Now, God answers their question by reminding them of how he chose their ancestor Jacob and his descendants over Jacob's brother Esau and his family. Both Jacob and Esau's were sons of God's chosen one, son of promise to Abraham, the man Isaac. Now, God had chosen Isaac over Ishmael, his half-brother. He's pointing out to the people that they were especially chosen by God down through their generations to be a special nation to him. And because he chose them in this fashion, this is a demonstration of his love that he has for Israel. Now, God further explains that the very land of the children of Esau, which is called Edom in this case, was not going to be blessed like Israel was going to be blessed. God plainly states that the land of Edom would become a desert where jackals lived. And God goes even deeper in his description of the descendants of Esau and how they had been rejected by stating that if they decided to rebuild their nation, that he would simply demolish them again. God's rejection of Edom were so profound that he pronounced that their land would be referred to as the land of wickedness. Now, the next statement that God makes to Israel could bring a feeling of despair and despondency to any of Esau's descendants. God says that these people would be known as the people with whom God is always, forever angry. Now, this statement is a serious declaration to place on the posterity of any nation. God demonstrates throughout the Bible that those that he places his wrath on will not be blessed. They will be cursed instead. His wrath against Esau's descendants would be an indicator to the people of Israel that his power extended much farther than the borders of just the nation of Israel. Now, we will continue with 10 Minutes with Malachi in our next video. We will be looking at chapter number 1, verses 6 through 10 and 12 through 14. We're going to hold verse number 11 for another video to itself. Remember that you can find other lessons from the 10 Minutes with series on this YouTube channel. Simply do a search for 10 Minutes with, and it will take you to a number of lessons from the New Testament book of James. Notes for the lessons can be found at our church website, which is westvillag.org. Allow me to encourage you to subscribe to our channel. We would love to see your prayer requests and comments in the comment section following the video. You can also leave comments and prayer requests and questions about the studies at our website, westvillag.org. Thank you so much for joining us for this lesson. We look forward to seeing you next time with 10 Minutes with Malachi.